Good afternoon. Welcome to Business This Week on ITV. I am Blessing H. Today we'll dive in straight ahead and just go on to talking business. I've got two gentlemen in the studio with me. They will be talking about mobile money business in Nigeria. Okay, since several years ago when it wasn't really convenient for people to just go into the banking hall and have their transaction done, we began to see ATM galleries stationed at bank premises. And from that point on, we moved away from having ATM machines stationed around bank premises to having point of sales machine. That's the POS. And so you could just go to maybe sometimes they're in a kiosk or just a very small outlet and say you want to do transaction. It's either you're withdrawing money or you're sending money to someone doing a transfer. So today we're looking at the mobile money business in Nigeria. I've got Yusuf Adeyemo in the studio with me. Welcome to the show.
Thank you, Blessing.
And I also have Usaro Ikato here.
Thank you.
Okay. Yes, when people say mobile money business, first of all, we want to know what those who are into the business, what do we call them? Mobile money operators or money agents? There seem to be lots of tags for them. I will begin with Usaro Ikato. Who are those in this kind of business?
What the people are, the nomenclature we normally use for them is POS agents, as you call them.
Okay.
Well, actually, we are mobile money agents or bank agents.
Okay.
So we are agents and we are the last mile drivers of the financial inclusion agenda of the federal government. So wherever you go in those states, you see banks agents, you see mobile money agents everywhere. So that's generally the nomenclature. Okay. But you know, in Nigeria, there's a way we normally coin things out that, okay, we call it the way it will be convenient for all of us. So we now say POS man, POS woman, POS operator.
I hear that regularly.
Yes.
It's like you just go to the POS man or POS woman.
Around you there.
Okay. All right. Now, so, Yusuf, apart from those who do the cash transactions, you have in some business places where they find that customers sometimes don't come with cash, so they have POS machines available there. So for those kind of business, can you also say that they are into the mobile money business?
Yeah. Fine. You know, when you said an agent is just a representative of a principal that is rendering a financial services. And when you look at the financial services, it is not the cash in, cash out, which we call like payments. If you hold your card is like an ATM. You can use that one to do. There's also a loan, there's a savings, there's a pension, there's insurance. Anybody, any of your principal that has designated someone to be carrying that service on behalf of him or her, of that company, is called an agent. He's representing a principal, and that is why he can be able to vend that services at the last mile. If you see one agent, maybe in Challenge today in Edo now, or maybe in Kamfansha, or maybe in Lagos now, that agent is not representing himself, he's representing a principal. And anybody that is representing a principal, you call him an agent. And it's more or less like you are representing your own broadcasting company, station. Now. You now go out, you are representing that. That agent is also servicing that. If not, we will not be able to use the ATM, we will not be able to do transfer, and that transaction will not be able to be successful.
Now, taking it from there, now representing agents, we have them widespread. In fact, before you move from one part of town to another, you can't count the number of POS points that you would find. And a lot of times, some persons have security issues with the use of POS machines because they tell you that, oh, I used the POS machine once and then my account got hacked into, and then somehow I was told it was at a POS point. But if these persons are agents of a principal, should it not be like, as you would have that confidence going into the bank to make withdrawals or do any form of transaction? Is there a way to be sure that, okay, for every POS agent or every POS point that you find in town, you should have some level of confidence in them?
Fine, it's available. There's a policy. You know, you can't just hold the POS anyhow in Nigeria. And the Central Bank of Nigeria has a framework for every sectors in the financial industry. And the way it comes in that before you become an agent, there's what we call KYC. That's know your customers. The principal must have taken your KYC information, your address, your national ID card, some basic information that you cannot run away if there's any issues. Now, going back to the issue that have to do with the fraud. Fraud has no any particular sector. There's always a business that have a fraud people or people that want just to exhaust one person at one particular time. What happens is that most time people compromise. And that's where the problem comes in. Maybe you are a customer, you wanted to use your ATM, you allow the agent or that person that is rendering that services to know your PIN. For example, you have compromised, right? Maybe you want to give a ATM to someone now, you give it to your child, and that child had your PIN, your password already. Maybe you are sleeping or you are not giving him the money, you can take it. Maybe your friends. These are the way that most of these things are happening. But if there's a fraud and you're able to establish it, there's a place you can report it to and it will be taken off.
So trading in money, at first it seemed weird, like, okay, you're not selling any particular product. It's just money you're trading on.
Yes.
So when we started seeing people get into the business, it looks like, how does this happen? How do they make their profit? So how's the business like trading in money?
Wow, it's a very lucrative business. I think I can tell you that for free. Everywhere you go to in Benin now, those states, even in the interiors, where you don't have NEPA lights, you will definitely have an agent there. So that is because there is money in it. And I will tell you that it has also created a lot of employment for our youths, a lot. In fact, the last statistics we have from the NIBF SNPs, over 1.1 million Nigerians are that are registered agents. So we still have some sectors that have not been captured by statistics. So you have people coming in because there is money in it. Then how do you make that money? One, for every transaction, there is a commission you earn from your principal because you are carrying out a business activity on their behalf. For example, you are supposed to go to your bank and cash out a check. So, and that money is transferred to your account. So instead of you to go to the banking hall, you just, okay, one agent is in my corner here. You take your ATM, you go and withdraw there. So the bank will charge you for that, for going to that place to go and do that transaction. The bank is going to charge you. So that charges that the bank charges you, there is a portion they have to give to the agent. That's on the one hand. Then also our agents also, they also look at, okay, what's the economic effect of these charges? Will it cover for my expenses in running this transaction? Because some of us, we have to buy data, you have to acquire your terminal, you have to buy paper, you have to do all sorts of things, you even pay for your shop or your store. And if what the bank is giving to you is not enough, so they sometimes charge extra. You understand? So that's how we make money from agency banking business.
Wow.
Yeah.
And so far, how has it been? Have there been challenges in the course of running the mobile money business, Yusuf?
There's a lot. You know, like we talked about the fraud the other time. For every business, there's always the challenges. And, you know, because it's not yet regulated. You know, if you go to the bank now, there are some certain things that you can't do in the bank. There's a certain level of understanding, education, managerial skills that comes with it. But when it comes to this business, the way it's going now, you must say that even if you go, you can be seeing some people hawking the POS. And you will start wondering, how does it happen like that? That's one of the risks that we're facing in the industry currently. And I think the stakeholders are looking at how they will bring standardization to that. And that's why maybe somebody take a POS in Lagos, for example, and do a withdrawal, right? You can bring it down to Edo the following morning and do the same withdrawal. It becomes an issue. Okay. And in that kind of things, we are working. I think the stakeholders are working how they will be tracking the machine from one location to another in such a way that will help us to track where are you doing this transaction at that particular time. The challenge is also the armed robbery.
Okay.
Yeah, because they feel like a mobile money operator has money, and that money does not belong to him. He also needs to borrow, because you came to him to come and collect the money, he has to get that money from somewhere. Most times they also go on loan and then get that money with them. But however, we always educate most people that are in the agency banking to also go with the minimum fund that will not become a risk to them.
Okay, minimum cash.
Yeah, minimum cash that will not be a risk to them. Maybe maximum 500,000. But you can say somebody that wants to be carrying like 10 million, 20 million in a day. It's too risky. But another things that people are able to find solutions is, okay, if you want to do this, you need to put insurance cover. And these are some of the things. However, there's also lack of educations among the customers and the agents when it comes to the dispute, which has been a lot of issues. You can just imagine, maybe you use the POS, you are being debited, and the transaction was failed. You go to your bank will tell you, go back to the agent, the money is with the agent. You come to the agent will say, there's no money with me.
But in situations like this, what could be responsible when you have failed transactions?
I think I will look at more of our infrastructural facilities that we need to improve. We are making the best by using infrastructural facility, because when you do transactions, it takes to connect some point to a point, from your bank to another bank to acquire. You have to connect all the players. In the process of connecting that, I don't know how to explain this so I will not be too more technical.
Okay.
In the process that you are connecting that, if one point fails, the transaction will fail. And by that time transaction will fail, it will not be a two-way. The agent does not have the money, right? The customer has been debited.
So where's the money?
Then that is where the dispute now comes in. Then the next thing is that there's a regulation. Is either they will investigate, it's either it will be in the agent's bank or the customer bank. And they have a dispute hour resolution put in place by the CBN that it takes, I think, maximum of 72 hours. You go to your bank, lodge the dispute, and then they will reverse the money. But in the case of the mobile money now, because people cannot fight ATM machine, but because people are owing POS, they want to fight.
Okay, there's no human face for ATM machine,
yes,
but there's a human face for mobile money agents.
Then it becomes an issue. You are the one, and you imagine maybe somebody that is hungry since money, somebody now send money to you, now said the transaction decline. It will not, and that it becomes a lot of fights among the customers. The knowledge base of education among the customers and agents is also very, very key, which has been a challenge in the business. The other thing that always been an issue is the cost of establishing it is also very, very, very high. If you don't have, it is not that business that you just say, if I just start with 10,000 or 5,000, like a starting period of that business. But if you want to do at least in any small way, you need to come maybe like 100,000, 200,000 now before you start.
Okay, let's go to education now. Educating the customer and the operator. What are the basic things that the operator should know, and maybe also let the customer know?
Well, when it comes to education, our association, like the Association of Mobile Money and Bank Agents, that's
Oh, you also have an association now?
Yes, I'm the chairman of the association in Edo State, and he is the national program director of the association in Nigeria.
How did this come about? Was it something that came up as regulation of the central bank, or it was just the operators coming together to form a body?
Well, we are still going for the regulation. However, the operators, the agents came together, and since we have a common problem, so we took this common problem to the central bank and said, for advocacy, like you said, education of the public and both agents and the customer, we want to step into that because we are really having challenges in this regard. And they told us, okay, you can go ahead, form the association, we registered it, the government is aware, the central bank, SANEF, and all key industry stakeholders, we all came together to have this association. So the association is basically established for awareness and advocacy, both for the agents and for the public as well. So like just yesterday, we had a such program in Benin, where all agents in Edo State gathered at the Festus CIE Hall, University of Benin.
Okay, I want to know now the basic things that an operator should know before you begin the business of mobile money.
Yeah.
What should you know?
One, of course, you have to be able to read and write. That's just the basic. Then secondly, you have to know who is providing you, who is going to be your principal. Like we said, we've established before. Then there's a level of
Can we
training
break
that...
this principle in a term that a layman can understand? When we say principle, are we talking about the bank?
Yes, the banks and the mobile money operators.
Mobile money operator, okay.
Yes. So they on their own, sometimes they are not doing enough. It's not that they're not doing at all, but they are not doing. Most times they just give you this terminal and they say off you go, and they start pushing the target to you to meet on their behalf. Meanwhile, there is no training and retraining.
Sorry to cut in. There's also a target you must meet.
Of course.
Why is there a target for you to meet? Are you like a marketer?
Whichever way you want to look at it, you are a marketer for...
Okay, so
that's why they pay you commission.
The principal gives you a target to meet.
Yes, yes.
So let's say you start this business now, and maybe because of your location, you're unable to meet the target. Is there a possibility of the ATM and the POS being retrieved?
Yes.
Oh. To
be retrieved from you because you are... on the other hand, there are some agents that just take this terminal and go and sleep. Some people, they will only use it at night. So, and such people, they become suspicious to us. Why is it that it's only night hours to use your terminals? Why you not
so there's monitoring on the use of the terminal. Okay.
So we have to, the operators and even the association, we're also fighting against that. Since bank closed by 4, 5 o'clock, let's also have a time where operators can close, these agents can close, so that we can also help the police in fraud and crime control.
Okay, but let's continue with the education. You've mentioned that you should know the provider.
Yes.
The principal providing your service.
Yes, service.
Okay, you should be able to read and write.
Okay. Then you should know your limitations as an agent. There are limitations. There are some transactions that you are not allowed to do because of the standard that the Central Bank of Nigeria has set.
What kind of transaction?
There are some amounts that you can't just go to an agent and say you want to withdraw, and the agent is not supposed to oblige to that amount because
maybe $1 million naira.
I can't tell you the limits now.
Okay.
However, there are limits. You can't, ordinary ATM card, you can't withdraw more than 150 from the ATM machine in a single day. So, but in agents' locations, you can withdraw up to 1 million, 1.5. If the ATM card that you are even bringing in the first place is allowed to process that type of amount beyond up to that amount. So there are limits that has been, so we help in educating our members and the general public. Then secondly, like you said, your personal identification number, your PIN, on the part of the agent now, you should know that this PIN is supposed to be for you and for you alone, not for any other person. But what we have is that a father will just say, I'm tired, my child, come go to POS, go and withdraw money for me, this is my PIN. Some give it to their friends, some give it to their girlfriends, some give it to their neighbors. You understand? And it's compromising the market, and it's compromising standards, and it's also causing a lot of issues. We have a situation where a very notable person in the society, his children took his ATM. The first one will take ATM, go and withdraw, tell the second one, they'll go and withdraw, tell the third one, they'll go and withdraw. But by the time the man got to know that his account is empty, he went to the POS operator and the agent and arrested him that all the frauds were carried out in his place. So the operator said, it's your children that are coming to use this ATM to do this transaction. So if the children don't know the PIN of their father, they can't do that transaction. So the education part of it is not, we can't finish it. As we notice threats to the business, we educate our members. We notice gaps, we educate our members on how to cover those gaps. Okay,
Yusuf, is it every POS operator today that is a member of the association? Are they bound by any law, whether by CBN regulation or any law existent anywhere, to be part of the association?
No. The basic things is that before you become an agent, you must be an agent of an approved providers by the Central Bank of Nigeria. If you are an agent and you don't hold the certificate of the principal that has been approved, for example, to help, maybe I don't want to mention names of any brand, but maybe there's brand A has been approved by the Central Bank of Nigeria. Me as an agent, I need to get approval from that company A, which has given me to be doing that services. Then, but for the association, it's voluntary. But however, we make it simple that because the rate at which people are adopting it, there's a level, there's lack of education among. No people, government cannot come in from the CBN cannot go to almost 1.1 million agents to be educating them. Then the companies, they are more or less on the sales targets. They can also not meet up with the training. Then this training is day by day. as new things happen, we need to pass through them. That's why we now come in on board. It's voluntary if you join, but one thing that has been is that if you have ever get to any point of any of our agents and you see them doing thing, maybe like fraud or whatever, you will never find any of our members there because they know the standard. For example, let me tell you, if you come to me now and said you want to withdraw, I said you want to withdraw 500,000 naira. I know that I'm not going to give you that 500,000 until I have your KYC with me. And the KYC is the normal thing that we'll collect in the bank too. I'll just tell you, give me your national ID card and let me take your pictures. You know, if you're a fraudster, you will not want to wait. And then, but many people that doesn't come into those.
But if you go over to POS and you say, I want to withdraw 500,000, and then you've been asked for things like that, would it not sound abnormal that, oh, for POS agent, they're supposed to give you any amount of money provided your account is allowed to make a withdrawal of that?
Okay. I agree with you.
So how would the customer know that you're supposed to ask that?
No, it's a normal thing now. When you go to the bank today, you want to withdraw on accountants, they will ask you.
But that's the bank.
That's
this is POS.
but it is my principal. That's the lack of the knowledge that we are talking. But because the way we just want to rush in Nigeria, you know, people just say, I need my cash. But that enforcement and standard will come, either we like it or not, because it's affecting the customer in terms of their fund, in terms of the money that they work for. You just wake up one day and you're not seeing your money again. A lot of issues are coming. That means we need to enforce that standard among the agents. If you can go to the bank today, if you go to the bank today, they say you should provide your ID card or something. If you don't provide, they will not give you that money. If the bank that is now giving me as an agent to do that work, who am I?
Okay. Okay, so for the customer now, so that we have seamless operation, when you go to a POS agent, what are the things you should know? What are the questions you should ask? What are the practices that are allowed? So when an agent is going off track or you're not getting that kind of attention, you should know something is wrong. What should be a red flag?
For an agent, the way we also train our agents, that's also we train the members of the public. Like my colleague rightly said, you can't go to the bank, even if it's your account. They must confirm that you are the person, your signature must be there, your ID card, and your BVN. In most cases, they also ask for your BVN. Even if they are seeing your BVN in your account,
yes,
they will ask you to repeat that process so that the cashier will be very sure that you are the person who owns the account. Then if for our agents, you are going to an agent to withdraw, one, does the agent have a mobile, a location? You understand? The CBN have a standard for that.
You must have a fixed location.
You must have a fixed location. So what we have today is that people hawk POS. If you go to Ring Road, go to Ramat Park and some places in Benin, even in parties. Yes, do you want to withdraw, want to get change to spray? You see somebody brings us a POS.
In marketplaces.
Yes. It's not proper because that agent is a mobile agent. So you can come back tomorrow and you will not find him, you will not find her. You understand? So if you have dispute, how will you now locate such agents? So that not necessarily that he stole your money or he defrauded you, but he can as well help you to resolve it. Yes, that's one. So you should, the members of the public should desist from patronizing people who are hawking POS. It's not for their interest. It's not for their good. Then secondly, when you see that an agent is writing the numbers on your card, you should raise an alarm because it's not allowed.
But how would you know? We find them sometimes in this kind of kiosk that they are seated way in and you can't see from where you're standing what you're doing behind. Some just take the machine and put it out. Okay, put your card, put your PIN, and then they take it down. You really can't see what you're doing inside.
No. You can monitor what they are doing.
So you must insist.
You must insist that the machine should be brought out so that you know when. Some customers, when they come, immediately they put their PIN. They hold the machine until the transaction is consummated. Other than that, they will not give the agent back the machine. But in some cases, our agents has also been defrauded in that instance. Because when you have keyed in, someone comes, I want to withdraw 5,000 naira. You key in the 5,000 naira, he starts his card, and you give him to put his PIN. He will cancel that transaction, put 5 naira.
Is it possible to do that?
Wow. It's just recently that some MMOs are trying to make a job because the association also cried to them that our agents are losing a lot in this regard. You understand? So some banks have not started doing that now, but so I know 1 or 2 MMOs who have started. Okay, before you cancel a transaction, you must the agent must have to authorize the cancellation of that transaction. But what we have now is that customers can cancel a transaction and
while holding
the terminal. So the agent has to also be careful. You know, sometimes they can distract you. Within a twinkle of an eye, they've distracted you and they've done what they want to do. So you just see that the paper just roll out and you see approve. So with the notion that, okay, it was 70,000 that I keyed in. You pay 70,000 without going back to check the printout receipt. Sometimes you now find out that it's 70 naira that is not there.
So it takes both the customer and the operator to be very vigilant.
Everybody in the chain have to be very, very vigilant because our agents are actually losing much to fraudsters.
Okay, now saying that this is a business that entails that you're very, very vigilant because the level of fraud is high.
Yes.
It can be from the part of the operator. It also can be from the part of the customer. What are those things that you would want or you would wish to be in place to make it easy for this business, both for the operator and both for the customer?
I think what we need to do is just like we have a framework for this business, and when it came in 2012, and then by the central bank, I think there's a need for us to look at that framework again and to review, and then to look at all the stakeholders to come up, like in a collaboration, to come up with most of these solutions. Like the one you said now, it's very simple that if the member of public knows that when you go to the POS, you can't withdraw more than 200,000 naira at a glance. You know, it's regulated. That thing is throughout Nigeria. You know that if an agent said, okay, I want to withdraw 300,000, you know there is a problem because there's a limit to what it has been accepted across all the platforms. But if you, a company A said it is 100,000, another one said 500,000, you will not know which one do you need to use at that particular time. But what you need to do now is that in Nigeria, we need to do standardization, we need to do enforcement, right? And then we also need to make sure that all the agents that are coming up, they have a unique ID card that you can use to track them. So as when a transaction occur or any issues occur, we can quickly figure that. Yeah, I said something. If you have a location, they said mobile money operator, but they didn't say that you will not just have something.
You should roam.
Yeah, not to roam. You need to have a particular, because they believe you are you are like a neighborhood bank to your community. People where you know them, they know you to render those services. But those things are not coming. Maybe because people are seeing that fast way of making money as in a job opportunity. People doesn't know the rules and regulations. But if you ask me in one word, there's a need for standardization. If standardization comes in, every other things will come down.
Finally, I'm going to ask this question. Let me take you back to when you mentioned that you need to meet targets. So if you're unable to meet targets, how do you work things out to ensure that you meet your targets and you stay in business?
Well, the issue of targets, the association have also been working with some of our MMOs, but the banks inclusive now, MMOs, to try and see a way that targeting is really reduced. And they have also complied with the association because they know the importance of the association in their business, actually. So they have actually reduced the target, which normally if you want to go into the business, you can actually exceed that target to a lot. So today I will not say it's really an issue for the association or for the agent because the target has been reduced. But you know, Nigerians, if you give somebody something to do and you don't give them a drive for it, they will not do it. You understand? We have some people that, because we are not just for the agents alone, we are also for the MMOs. You understand? Because they are our major partners. So we are also telling them that, okay, when you give out terminals, educate them, because some of the agents, they'll tell you that I was not aware when, I was not told that there is a target when I was giving this terminal. Now you are coming to collect it from me because I'm not meeting targets. So just believe that anytime they have a customer, that's when they use it, even if it's midnight, even if they don't know the person. So the targeting has been reduced, but then we still encourage our operators to still look into it. And no business can thrive without targets. Yes.
Okay. All right. We're looking at the mobile money business in Nigeria, the challenges, and how it's been for them so far in the business. We see that there are lots of prospects, and they've talked extensively on why you, as a customer who patronizes POS agents, and even you, as the POS agent yourself, should be very, very vigilant. So don't just do things carefully and say, okay, here's my card. I need 10,000, and you're looking away. Or you, as the POS person, you say, okay, enter your PIN, and you're doing something else. Shine your eyes, like that's the key word of the business.
Yes, yes.
Sure.
All right, thank you very much, Yusuf Adeyemo, and of course, Osaro Ikato, for coming on the show today, telling us about the mobile money business in Nigeria. It's CBN's way of also ensuring that financial inclusion, so that those at the rural area could have access to bank transactions even without getting to the bank. That's the show today. My name is Blessing AJ. Enjoy your weekend.